Hello and welcome back to our channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I am photographing slides to sell on eBay. And I have important news, kind of. In all of my videos, I always wonder what people are doing with these slides. Why are you buying my slides? If you are someone who buys slides, why do you buy the slides? But I found a use for them. Not that I can do because I'm not that creative or artistic, but my two oldest and my husband, okay, so my two oldest, their birthdays are in December, and since we are on gift overload in December, and my middle child, unfortunately, her birthday is really close to Christmas. So we started doing activities with them instead of presents because, again, present overload. And I am at that point in my existence in my house where I'm just going to start lighting things on fire. It's bad. But we did an experience. We went to St. Louis and we did the Science Center and the City Museum. And I cannot tell you guys how awesome the City Museum is enough. It's awesome and it's also really terrifying. So if you are anywhere close to the Midwest, close to St. Louis, honestly, when we were there while the St. Louis kids were still in school because our school got out so early this year. So early. But we were going while the kids that lived there were actually in school. And all of the kids that were there were either homeschool kids or kids from out of the area. I would say out of the state, but we're not out of the, well, technically we're out of state, but out of the area. And like we had people from Washington, people from Nevada and New Mexico. So the City Museum, sorry, I had to stop. My mom was calling because apparently a funnel cloud was spotted, January tornadoes, that's fine. But so the City Museum, it's great. I would not recommend it if you have a very small child that can get in areas that you can't get into because it has like a whole cave system in there. Slides everywhere. There are random holes in the floor and you don't know where they go and they won't tell you, and there's no maps because part of the fun is getting lost. And honestly, that is their theme. They're like, it's fun, go get lost. And so we went there and they're on the upper story. So I want to say it's the 4th floor, not the roof access floor, but the next floor. Part of it is like an art gallery where in the St. Louis area, they took architecture, buildings that were being torn down, and they took like crown moldings and stuff, and other cities can send them things, and they had like an actual art gallery in there too, and they have an insect wall and like stuffed animals and sculptures and everything. It's really great. Like I highly recommend it. My 5-year-old did not go with us. She would have been incredibly difficult in there. Lots of climbing. I beat the crap out of myself. I had bruises all over my legs, on my elbows. I had a huge like baseball size bruise on the side of my leg where I hit it on the side of a metal slide. So it's very tactile and everything. But we're upstairs in the art gallery and we're looking around. They have like a toy soldier thing that you can stand on, and it's all these toy soldiers supporting you, and the art does rotate. But we get around to like, it's like an L shape. So we get around the L and we look, and there is a whole slide installation, and somebody had put vintage slides between 2 panes of glass. So it was almost like a stained glass window, and you were looking through, and they deframed them, or at least they cut the frames down a lot. So it was like looking through a stained glass window, but it was all vintage slides. So I guess I found something you can do with slides, and it was really cool. And I could see it being like a standalone thing, or even like doing it to a window in your own house, I guess. But you really don't want sun hitting in this because that will yellow them. It will turn them red. It will disintegrate the slides. So they are sensitive to that. And they're also sensitive to temperature changes. So it would have to be something inside your house, maybe even like an LED lamp in the shade as the slides. So maybe something like that. But I was like, oh, wow, I wish I was like super creative and could do that. And I'm not that creative and or mechanically inclined. Like, I'm not great with woodworking and putting stuff together. So, but it was just so cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, I figured out what we could do with slides. And I'd never even thought about that. But I mean, it'd work for a lampshade or like an installation somewhere or like in a restaurant between booths or something. That would be really interesting. But there was an art installation of slides. Now, the slides in the installation were like old souvenir slides. So they were of landmarks and stuff. They weren't of like people or Americana or something, but you can know it'd be like Christmas or something. I've sold slides that are just Americana, and I did recently sell some slides to a studio, so that's really cool. I don't know what they're going to be used for. It's like, I want to be like, message them. I'm like, please tell me what you're using these for. I'm so interested. And I am just that person that I just want to know. I'm so nosy. I want to know. I'm like, what are you doing with that? That's so cool. And like, if I see like artists or something, I'll ask them, how do you do that? Or what do you want, what made you think of that? I have questions, and I got so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's something you can do with slides. But honestly, the City Museum is so artistic just in its existence. It has old planes on the sides and buses, and everything is climbing towers and a treehouse inside. And then you have the whole cave system that is just insane. And it's chaos, but it's art. It has some of the largest, I think it has the largest mosaic tile installation in the nation. Like, when I was talking to all these people coming from other states to go to this, and it's like not even 4 hours away from us, and we don't go to it. This is our first time we've taken our big kids to it. And I went to it when I was in high school as like a field trip thing, but I have not, as a parent, taking my child in there. However, it's incredibly anxiety provoking because there were several times my kids went through holes in the floor and we couldn't find them. And even when you go, like, if you look up tips and tricks online and stuff, it says like, write your phone number and your name on your child's arm because you will lose them. And the amount of parents we saw like panically looking for their children was pretty crazy. There is a tunnel that runs under the floor that I could not fit into if I tried. And if one of my children, like my tiniest, would have went into that, it would have been very difficult because even my oldest, who is only 13, there were some places he couldn't fit into. Granted, he's like person size now, but my 10-year-old was probably the best size and best age for this because, one, she knew my phone number if she did get lost. Two, she's not going to panic if she didn't get, if she got lost. We had to meet us at the gift shop. If you don't know where you are, meet us at the gift shop. But honestly, we needed one parent per child. So I wouldn't take like a large group there. But it was so cool. And I found a slide installation. So I thought I'd share that with all of you. Please look at my digital uploads. I hope you have a wonderful day, and may we all survive this winter.